Peace, everyone. This is your boy Ace from Ace Corner Talk. What's good, man? Happy to be back in the lab. Happy to be back in the lab. So I just wanted to say peace to everybody, man. Peace to all of the aces in the hole. Everybody that rocks with your boy Ace. Want to say peace to Logic. Just got off the phone building with him for like a few seconds. Peace to all of those who continue to support. Just want to talk a little bit about Pusha T and Drake. Really don't have no strong direction, but I'm just going to give my commentary on it. Very interesting. Some of this beef back and forth. Okay, some people could say, yeah, it's warranted. The game needs this. Rap needs this. Then some people could say it's petty. Why do they keep going back and forth? But for whatever their reasons are, I mean, I think it's part of the sport. And if you want to look at it like that from a rap cultural perspective, it's part of the genres. It's part of the culture. You feel me? So of course that is part of it. You're gonna get that, no matter if you're the best or you're trying to be the best. George Garcia's, what's up, man? You're trying to be the best or whatever you're trying to do, that is part of it. You feel me? So, you're going to get tested. Your rap skills are going to get tested and all that good stuff, man. What's good, my man? Unity, no hate. Peace. Peace. Check it. Snacking on cheese doodles. So never mind my hunger, alright? But so we're gonna talk about this. I'm gonna play the video, or I'm gonna play the song or the rap song, and we're gonna go from there, alright? Here we go.
Easy money. It's about to be a surgical summer. Chop the tops off the coupes. The 488. The spider joint. And you know we gotta cut the heads off these snakes, right? Watch the body drop.
Ever fresh.
Drug dealing aside, ghost writing aside. Let's have a heart-to-heart about your pride. Even though you're multi, I see that your soul don't look alive. The M's count different when baby divides the pie. Wait, let's examine why your music for the past few years been angry and full of lies. I started at the home front, I'm on one. Dennis Graham, stay off the gram, bitch, I'm on one. You mentioned wedding ring like it's a bad thing. Your father walked away at 5, hell of a dad thing. Marriage is something that Sandy never had, Drake. How you a winner but she keep coming in last place. Monkey suit Dennis, you parade him. A Steve Harvey suit nigga made him. Confused, always felt you weren't black enough. Afraid to grow it cause your fro wouldn't nap enough. Since you name dropped my fiance, let them know who you chose as your Beyonce. Sophie knows better as your baby mother. Cleaned her up for IG, but the stench is on her. A baby's involved, it's deeper than rap. We talking character, let me keep with the facts. You are hiding a child, let that boy come home. Deadbeat motherfucker playing border patrol. Ooh. Adonis is your son, and he deserves more than an Adidas press run. That's real. Love that baby, respect that girl. Forget she's a porn star, let her be your world. Yeah. How dare you put yay in my verses? I'm selfish, I want all of the curses. I'm pre-booking the churches, me versus 3 hearses. If we all go to hell, it'll be worth it. Already aligned with the greats. And on that same note, the only ones I chase are 2 ghosts. Still giving you classics. That's the only thing that dates me. OVO 40, hunched over like he 80. Tick, tick, tick. How much time he got? That man is sick, sick, sick.
Alright, cool. So we got the gist of what Pusha T was saying. He kind of clapped back at Drake. They've been going back and forth since, what, 2016 maybe? I think, if I'm not mistaken, Drake has 2 disses out on Pusha T. Pusha T came back with, I think, Daytona and something else. I think it's like 2 that he got, you know what I'm saying, coming back at Drake plus this one. So this has been an ongoing beef. But lyrically, listening to what Pusha T said and how he clapped back at Drake, he kind of went, yeah, he went deep on this one. He went pretty deep. Now, the reason why I want to talk about this is because if the picture, first of all, Pusha T found this picture of Drake with blackface, right? Now, for some of us who may not know what blackface is, and the majority of people, you know what blackface is. But if you don't, this is a quick, synopsis of what this is. Okay, blackface is when back in the 50s, 40s and 50s, probably around that era, white people used to color their face black, and it was sort of mocking black people. They would do this at comedy clubs. They would do it at, different little events to please white people. So it was sort of being a comedian, just joking black people. So I don't know. I just wanted to say what's up, Queen C. What's up? Okay. I want to say what's up to everybody. All right, but just jumping on this in itself. Now, I pose a question, right? Check this out. What's up, Barbie? I pose a question. Do entertainers get away with cooning because of their stature? That's a question that I want to ask everybody. Do entertainers get away with cooning because of their stature? Now, we all know what cooning is. I'm not in the, conscious community, but that word is thrown around, you know what I'm saying, like a lot in the conscious community. So when you hear the word cooning, it's basically a black person selling out or trying to do something to get trying to get kudos from white people, basically what cooning is. So when I look at this picture that has surfaced and Pusha T found it or whatever, however he got it, when I look at this picture, whatever reasoning Drake gave for having blackface on, my thing is this. First of all, Drake is half white, half black. Now, he probably can get away with doing this because he's half white and he's half black. Now, us black people, we are really accepting to things that people do, and we give people a pass. Now, I'm not trying to be biased, or I'm not trying to, yeah. So we give people a pass. I don't know why that is with our culture, but for some reason, we as black people give a lot of different nationality, races, and all that. We give them passes. Now, if the shoe was on the other foot, I believe that we would come under heavy scrutiny and criticism, right? I feel that because Drake is half white and half black, I think he's going to get a pass on this one by having blackface. Now, my personal opinion, this is not, this is not, but, Marty baby, check this out. This is my opinion. My opinion. But I think he should not have did that. I don't care what his reasoning is. I don't care if he was coming up. I don't care if he was trying to, shake it, pop, and move, and whatever he was trying to do. I feel like once you cross that line, you put yourself in cooning status, right? I don't care if it was 10 years ago, 20 years ago, just the stigma of that is holding over your head. All right? But this picture right here, that stigma is going to follow you. That's the bad thing about social media and YouTube. That stuff is out there, right? So by him doing that, whatever I thought about Drake, even though he's a good lyricist and he got good music, whatever you want to say, he's a good singer or whatever. When I see this picture, it sort of discredits him and it brings him down a notch. Maybe about 3 or 4 notches like this, right? So I feel like there could have been other ways for him to explain or talk about blackface, right? About it happening, why it happened, people, joking blacks or whatever the case is. There could have been another way that he could have did that. Not go as far as putting on the makeup of blackface, being light-skinned, almost white, and then got this big cheese and a big smile on his face as if he's enjoying that. Yeah, he gave an explanation and a reason why he did it, but my thing is this, still in all, is that considered cooning? Is what Drake is displaying right now in this picture, whether it was 20 years ago, 10 years ago, was that cooning? Was he in the cooning mind state? Was he in it, I'm going to get ahead by any means necessary? You feel me? I'm going to get ahead by any means necessary no matter what I got to do. Is that considered cooning? Did he sell out to get to where he is? And if we don't examine some of these things, we put people on pedestals. We'll have people way up here in these pedestals, right? And when we put them at such a high pedestal, like they can't do nothing wrong, like just because they got good music doesn't mean that they're not human. Okay, let's get past all of that. They're human beings. They make mistakes just like us. They just happen to have a talent or a gift, and people love it, okay? But when it comes to doing something that's distasteful, that would, potentially come back to bite you, evaluate whether you should do it or not. I mean, that's a no-brainer. Evaluate whether you should, step out there, my man. What's up, Logic? What's good? Evaluate whether you should step out there and make that conscious choice to do something is this. Like just putting on the makeup is, I know that had to be, whatever he was doing, joking or whatever. It just had to feel some kind of, he should have felt some kind of way. Me looking at the picture, I feel some kind of way. Now, Pusha T came and dug up some dirt. He went in his background talking about his baby mother, talking about the kid that he got, talking about she's a porn star. And yeah, he went deep, all gloves off, bare knuckles, went at Drake. And my thing, I want to see what Drake is going to do. I want to see what his response is. I want to see if he comes back clapping. I'm going to see if he comes back strong. We're no strangers to rap beef. We know about rap beef from, from LL to Kumo D to Big Daddy Kane. It was so many different rap battles. Tupac, Biggie, you can name it, they done it. And if you a rap head or you've been in the rap scene, you know about that. These things come. And nothing's off limits. Family goes in. They talk about family. They talk about your background. Whatever you've done, they'll hit that. And they'll use that as ammunition against you. Right? I think that in today's society, we give people passes because they have arrived, or we may think they have arrived to a certain place in life that they're untouchable, or they'll get a pass because they might have done some good with a charity or something like that. So these little things like this, we'll just push it under the rug and say, well, he gave $50,000 to the Negro Fund, college fund or whatever the case is. So we'll give people like Drake a pass. But on this particular one, me personally, I'm not giving him a pass on this. This is cooning to the utmost. This is distasteful, disrespectful, and I feel like, if there was any other way he could have done it, somebody should have been coaching him on, hey, look, man, you might not want to go that direction with it. Simply because he can play the fence. See, people that are black and white or mixed or, they're biracial, multicultural, whatever you want to call them. So they can play both fields, right? They can, when it's time to play white, they can play white. When it's time to play black, they can play black. So when dealing with somebody that's bilingual and have different ethnicities, it's hard to deal with somebody. And I'm not saying hard to deal with them, but when you're dealing with them, they can play both fields when they need to. So if something pops off and there's a race war, depending on what side is winning, they can either go to this side or they can go to that side. Now, I'm not trying to be critical. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to nobody that's bilingual, because me, myself, I have different things in me. My brothers and sisters, they're, multicultural, so they have different things in them. So I'm not being disrespectful to anybody who might be white and black or might have something else, Chinese, Asian, and black, or whatever. That's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. You're God's creatures. You're a creation of God and all that good stuff. So I'm not downing, shunning, or coming at anybody who might be bilingual or anybody that might be multicultural. But I will say this. Just like this, in this particular example, they can play both sides of the field. When it's time to play white, they can play white. When it's time to play black, they can play black. So depending on where they grew up or how they grew up, they might gravitate to that side. Okay? So I'm not familiar with Drake's total background because I can really care less. I think he's from Canada, Ontario, Canada, if I'm not mistaken, or somewhere. But I don't know how deep that goes. I don't know how much black people he's been around, but of course, if his father's black, then naturally he have black brothers and sisters, maybe cousins or whatever, and he's been around them. But I pretty much know, okay, his mom is Jewish. So I pretty much know from just that alone, just that bit of information, when it's needed for him to be what he wants to be, he can play the field. I guarantee you there was a bunch of white people around him when he was doing this, pumping him up, saying this is a good thing to do. I 100% guarantee you that somebody in his camp corner or whatever was pumping him up and telling him to do this, as well as him saying, I want to do this. I don't really see a whole bunch of black people, I'm just saying I'm brothers. I don't really see brothers just be like, yeah, man, go ahead and do this. Yeah, go ahead, put the fader. I don't really see them pumping him up to do this. I see that this probably was maybe maybe a couple of Caucasian people pushing him to do this and saying, hey, man, this will get you on, do this skit or do this or whatever. And this is how I'm kind of like, gravitating to that, right? Yeah, no doubt, man. I mean, Chantel, that's true. We still niggas. That statement is funny. I'm gonna show the statement. All right, cool. Here we go. All right, the statement is funny. Light nigga, dark nigga, fix eating nigga, real nigga, rich nigga, poor nigga, house nigga, field nigga. Everyone is still in the bins. Okay, I get that. I get that. You only classify yourself as a nigga if you speak that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could be joking and say, hey, what's up, nigga, or whatever, or use that as a slang or whatever. But to really heart-to-heart mean you're a nigga, there's nigger and nigga. So depending on what part of the syllable you're using and variables you're using, I mean, you can put the ER or you can put the A, like however you are using that word it doesn't define you, and it should not define you. I mean, I don't care if you're in the hood. I don't care if I don't care if you're, wherever you are. It should not define you as a person, as a human being, simply because usually you are what you call yourself, right? You are what you call yourself. When you put a title and a label on yourself, you have announced and identified yourself to the world. That's what you are. You're not going to go around calling yourself homosexual and gay if that's not what you are. Why? Because then you have labeled yourself, and if that's not what you are, why would you go around doing that? You're not going to go around saying that, you're a police officer and impersonating one if you're not. I mean, there's certain things you're not going to do, right? You're not going to put labels on yourself if there's no need to. Just be who you are. I'm not going to go around and say I'm this, I'm that, I'm whatever if that's not what I am. If I'm not portraying to be that, I'm not going to put that out in the atmosphere. All right? I'm not going to say I'm a gangster and I'm doing all this stuff if that's not what I'm practicing. I'm not going to say I'm around toting guns and selling dope if that's not what I'm doing. I mean, that can get you in a lot of trouble. When you ultimately, if you ultimately do things by classifying yourself, what you have done is you marked yourself. You understand? You're marking yourself. You're putting a price on yourself. You understand? People do that a lot, and I don't know what the fascination is about that. You got people who live in the suburbs and live in the hills, and then they come to the city one time, and now they're gangsters and thugs. I mean, I don't understand what is the correlation. What is the fascination of that? Excuse me, I'm eating cheese doodles. So what is the fascination about that? Why do you have to classify yourself in order to feel like you're something or order to feel like you're somebody? You don't have to. Just be who you are. Whoever you are. If you now I was about to say something real slick. See, hey, what's up, your sweet place? I was about to say something real slick, so I'm going to hold that comment. But whatever you are, be that. Whoever you are, be who you are. Don't try to portray to be something that you're not. I don't claim to be half Italian I claim to be black. You understand? Whether I have it in me or not, or whatever the case is, I don't claim none of that. I just claim to be black. I don't use that card because I have it in me, or I'm half, or have father is, or mother is. I don't play those cards because what sense does it make? I'm black is Nigerian, African, what's that? Uganda, you know what I'm saying? Like that's just me. So I don't just because people look at me, they will say, well, nah, he might be mixed with something or he might not. But why go through all of that headache? I'm just black. You understand? I don't need to play that card. Yeah, I'm just black. Just whatever. But at the end of the day, I see how in this particular instance, why Pusha T pulled the card, put that up on his, like, as a thumbnail, or I don't know if it was a thumbnail. I don't know if it was part of his album. Like, whatever that was, it's funny. It's very funny, but but when you get to the seriousness of it, people do these things, and whatever was going through his mind at the time, and whatever reasons he seen fit to do that, did you ever stop to think how it would offend somebody who grew up in those particular times and actually had to see black people being mocked by white people in clubs or whatever the case is, see it on TV, see how maybe they might have grown up in the South, might not have the best education, might not have the best grammar or vernacular or speak well. It might have some of the hand-me-down clothes. It might even look similar to blackface. But have you ever thought that that type of thing could either affect somebody that could be well into their 60s or 70s that might have experienced being around that era of time, and had to experience white people joking black people. You understand? And if I'm not mistaken, there were actually black people that did it as well. There was black people that put blackface on, not just white people. There was black people that did it, and they went into white clubs and they was shucking and jiving and jumping around and acting a fool, but it was to please the white crowd or to please them, and whether they was making money, couple of quarters or whatever they was making, I don't know if they were saying that I have to do this because I'm making a living, or are they just saying, you know what, I'm doing this because I'm making a statement. I don't know why a black person would want to put that on their face and just make a mockery of other black people. If you look at it now, we go through the same thing in this day and time, but it's just not blackface. We as people, we go through the same thing right now. Think about this. You got bullying. You got people who maybe, and I'm going to say this before I even go into the statement. It's cool to be a nerd. It's cool to be, you know, a smart dude or a brainiac or all that good stuff. It's cool to be that. If that's what you're in pursuit of. It's cool to want an education, to think smart. Not everybody wants to be a rapper. Not everybody wants to sling dope. Not everybody wants to sit lean and pop mollies. Not everybody wants to carry that lifestyle. Whatever fantasy people are out there on, and if you feel like that's your fantasy and that's what you want to be, that's going to define you, that's going to make you cool because you smoke a little weed or, you know, pop a little molly, whatever you're doing, if you feel like that's going to make you somebody or make you cool, if you leaning off the lean, if you feel like that's going to make you somebody, then by all means do it. By all means, you carry your weight. By all means. But at the end of the day, whatever you're masking, like Drake is masking, whatever you're masking and covering up or hiding up, whatever you're trying to be because you feel like you are not important enough to be who you are, whatever all that's about, at the end of the day, you got to look in the mirror and you got to feel what you feel like in your own skin. All of that is going to be right here. It don't leave. It's going to be in your heart. You know what you're doing and for what reason. Me, myself, when I was in my teens, my young adulthood, all that was fascinating. I did those things. I experienced. Yeah, okay. All that was cool. Might not have popped no mollies, but you know, a little coke here and there. You understand? A little weed or whatever. It was enough for me to get me where I needed to be mentally and whatever the case was. It was enough. But at that particular time, what I was involved in sort of pulled me into doing those things. When you're in the streets, you either do what the streets do or you get mopped. I mean, come on. That's just what it is. You either do what the streets do or you get ate up out there. That's just how it was. When I was in the club, smoking my Newport, shooting pool with a cigarette hanging out my mouth, smoking black and mild, smoking weed. When I was doing all those things, I had to have my gat. We don't call them gats no more. I had to have the burner or whatever. I had to be that because I was in the streets. But now that I'm older, I don't try to live that life. I don't try to portray that life. I don't try to even pattern after that. Because whether you're a 50-year-old rapper like Jay-Z or a 40-year-old rapper like Kanye or some of these other cats out here, whether you are still talking about Molly's like you know Truth and whoever else out there just rapping about these things, all of that is a gimmick. We should know that by now. All of those things are gimmicks to pull the mass majority into that world. Well, I guess I said a mouthful with that one. Cheese doodles. I guess I said a mouthful with that one. It's all to pull the majority into that world. Think about it. Why do you think they push so hard to Man, I don't understand that, man. Thank you for deleting that. I don't know what the heck that was. Your sweet place, you on time. Love you. So, think about it. We are getting pulled in by our entertainers, by the rappers, by the Jay-Z's, the Kanye's, and Pusha T's, and anybody else you could think about that's hot right now. We're getting pulled into their world by their music, their lyrics, and whether they got fly music, whether it's good to the ears, good to the soul, and we bopping and we moving and all that, they're still able to captivate our mind and pull us into where they are, right? Now, I don't know if you don't think that's a big influence, but it is. What they're doing is influencing us. Okay? If they was promoting something positive, I don't think that it would be as catchy as the negative, right? Because if you think about the urban cities, that's what they're doing. They're drinking, they're smoking, they're leaning, they're all of that. That's in the urban cities. That's in the hoods, in the inner cities. You understand? They're doing this. So they have to appeal to them. Because what? That's where their money gonna come from. That's where they're gonna get their dollars from. That's where they're gonna make bank at. It's because they have to appeal. And then from that particular point, then everybody else catches on. All of the suburbs and all of those, that's when they catch on. When the city gets it, then everybody else get it. So it is only going to take one person to start a trend, and then it's gonna affect, or it's gonna catch on. But who does it really affect? Do it affect them, or will it affect us? Think about that. Who will it affect the most? Will it affect them, or will it affect us? They're making the money, and we're giving them the money just because they got good music. And I understand if they're artists, they work hard, they want to get paid, they want to do this. Understand that. But the content, is the content hindering, or is it helping? Which one? Is it hindering, or is it helping? That's what we got to look at. Now, I'm not saying, go on a campaign and say, I hate all music and I hate rappers and I hate all that. I'm not saying that. But I am saying, is it pulling us into their world? Is it bringing us from where we are and pulling us into their world? See, the only way you can, all right, put it like this. You can control a horse by biting its mouth, right? Check this analogy. Let me see if I can get real deep real quick. I'm going to get real deep on you. I'm going to get the deepness on you real quick. Check this out. You can control a horse, right, by biting its mouth, right? The thing that they put into the horse's mouth is called a bit. It's the thing that goes here, and it connects all the way up and goes around its head. So that, and then on the side of the bit, it has straps, right? So whoever is mounted up on the horse can control the horse. Can either pull it to the left when he pulls to the right, even pull to the right when he pulls to the left. They can control the horse by the bit that's in its mouth. Steering the horse, basically. Just like a steering wheel in a car, moves the car to the left or moves the car to the right. The bit in the horse's mouth will pull the horse to the right or pull the horse to the left. So, my thing is, whoever in the rap game is mounted up and has the bit in the society's mouth is controlling you. I just got deep. I don't know if y'all gonna give me the credit for that one, but I just got deep on y'all. I'm just saying, whoever has the bit in controlling y'all through the airways, whoever has the bit, the straps, and whoever has the bit in their mouth are being controlled. That's the way I see it. There is no easier way to say what I'm saying, because that's the reality. Whether you are blind to it, whether you want to accept the fact, whether you are oblivious, you're up there in the clouds with it, whatever that's about. Whether you want to believe that or not, it is affecting us as a people. Black, white, Indian, Chinese. You know, I was watching YouTube the other day, and there was like this little Chinese chick on there, and she was just mocking black people and mocking rappers and mocking, and it was like the weirdest little thing, man. She was like, yeah, this is my car right here, and I got all this money right here, and this is my house, my mansion right here, and like it was, I don't even know how to describe it, how I felt when I was looking at it. It was just weird, man. And she might have had a couple of million views or something like that, but to just to see that that's getting attention, like it's mocking us, and that we give that a pass, right? When we should be angry, like, yo, what is this, man? Turn that mess, yo, what, thumb it down or something. I mean, we think that's cute, but I don't find that funny. I don't find mocking black people, mocking the way we live or way we have lived or any of the sort. I don't think it's funny. It's not funny to me. I grew up at a particular time where, okay, so when I was in New York, I grew up with, you know, Latinos. I grew up with Dominicans, Africans. It was multicultural. I mean, you know, in the Bronx, mainly we have a lot of Spanish. You understand? We have a lot of, you know, now they call them, but they're bilingual. They're Afro and whatever the other word is. So they're Spanish and they're black and they're Afro black and they're all of these different terms they're coming up with now and all of this other stuff. That's what it was. In the Bronx, I mean, it wasn't nothing. And then you got Italians, and so it wasn't nothing to come across somebody of a different ethnicity. I mean, me, you know, I ran into, you know, different scenarios where there was somebody that looked like me, but dark like me, but then talking Spanish. And then, you know, it was, you know, that's just what it was. But right now, when we look at how our kids and how our families are raised and how are they being heavily influenced by what is being pushed out there? Could Drake redeem himself? Afro-Latinos. There we go. There we go. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, baby. You got that, no doubt. Marty, baby, I appreciate it. All right, you back? No doubt. But is that influencing our inner cities? Is the rap culture so strong and has such an impact? Is that actually hindering our children in inner cities? We're already at a disadvantage. Let's go there. All right, we're at a disadvantage. Why? Because when you go into the inner cities, 9 times out of 10, we don't have all of the books that we need. There's lack of education. I mean, there's thousands of things that we can just name that are wrong in our inner cities. Hidden treasures, what's up? So in our inner cities, there's so many different things that we can pinpoint that is not helping our families. Some people say, no, help yourself. Go out there, do what you got to do for your families. Okay, I understand that. But when you look at other places that have their children taken care of, looked after, why can't we have that same privilege? Now, you can go to, like, it's like this. The cities here in Baltimore, they were struggling to get air conditioning, right? Some of these older schools didn't even have air conditioning. When it got 90-something degrees, they had to let the kids out of school. It was too hot for them to even be in there, right? But when you go to the county schools, they got central air, they got air conditioning, and, you know, they all kick back with their feet up learning. But when you come to the cities, okay, they burning our kids' scalp off, and they can't even think, or they can't even comprehend, or even pay attention. It's so hot. Sweat beading off their face. So that's just one example, right? But there's a host of many more examples. We don't get the same treatment in the city as people do in the county or in the country or any, and when I say country, I mean like, you know, the hills, or, you know, we have Baltimore County, We have Baltimore City. So in Baltimore County, I call that the hills or the country, right? We don't have those privileges that they have. There's certain perks that they get because they, quote unquote, live in a better society, or they live in a more funded society. I guess I'm putting that the right way. But you understand what I'm saying? So they make more money in the actual county than they might do in the city. So they put more into the county children's schools than they do into the city schools. So that hinders us. So I said all that to say we're already at a disadvantage with our kids. And I'm only going on this particular, I'm not in one zone. I'm all over the place, all right? But I'm tying it all in to Drake, Pusha T, and just bear with me. So anyway, it all ties in, right? It all ties in. We are at a disadvantage in the city, man. That's just facts. I don't have to argue that with nobody. We're already at a disadvantage. So anything else that comes and promotes something to bring us even further down, I don't think it's healthy. Now, I'm not saying don't listen to music or listen to rap music, but also have a balance. You understand? And I ain't saying going to listen to country music. Country music can have you crying. You understand? You go listen to some country music, it'll probably have you crying and ready to shoot the dog and cat and all that good stuff. You understand? But have a balance, though. You understand? If your kids never heard classical music, and I'm not saying I've done this, but I do listen to different things. I don't just listen to rap. Well, actually, I really just recently started to listen to some particular rap musics. All right, and even in this, It is just a lot. I'm used to the older style raps. You understand? So a lot of this newer stuff don't really catch my attention too much, or it really don't. I don't vibe with it all that great. You understand? I'm used to Nas and Tupac, like that particular genre. I'm not used to all of this other mumbo stuff and Little Voozy, Ert and Bert and Ernie and all these other guys, man. You understand? The Sesame Street gang. I'm not used to all that. I'm used to, you know, keeping it simple, give you 16 bars of some hot fire, and we out. But have a balance, man. Have a balance. If your kids have not heard classical music, haven't heard, you know, how harps and violins are played, how about giving them a little bit of that too? How about hit them with a little bit of something that they might not have heard, but actually can be beneficial? You understand? Before all of this stuff came about, how did Africans beat drums? How did Africans and our ancestors, how did they make a tune? How did they make a beat before all of the before all of the what do you call the computerized beats and voices and all that stuff? Before all of that came, what was we vibing to? What was we listening to? What caught our attention? What caught the beat of our heart? What synced or synchronized with our spirit? Right? What was it? So have a balance, man. If you're going to give your kids rap lyrics and they, you know, 4 and 5 years old and don't even know how to read, write, know the ABCs, before they even know all that, they know rap lyrics and all that. But before you entice them or endouse them with a whole bunch of that, won't you give them a balance? If that's where you are mentally as a parent, won't you give them a balance? Just put it on. They might not want to, hey, what is this? Just put it on and let them vibe to it. If they do. If they don't, just put it on. But at least you attempted to give them a balance of it. Now, if I'm saying something that's wrong, yeah, I'm going to start. I tried to get Logic on, man. But Logic, he was tied up. So, you know, but I am going to start having some panels, man. Anybody was welcome to come on today with me, man. I was trying to find somebody, but you know, like I said, I was missing in action for a little while, your sweet place. So I would love to have people come on and build with me as well. You know, I'm gonna start getting back live a little bit more than I have, man. Just been tied up, y'all. But your boy, I'm getting back into things, all right? So I got rained out. I was fixing my truck, and I had screws and bolts over here, and this, that, and all this took it apart, and then it just poured down super hard. So I had to pack everything up, close the hood, come in the house and do live, all right? But I'm going to try to go on a little earlier as well, you know, so that way I can catch y'all a little earlier. You know what I mean? Because I going late, I don't get the maximum support. Everybody's tired, falling asleep. You know how that go. So what I will do is try to go on a little earlier and then try to find some people to vibe with me so we can get great builds. You know, y'all know how I do. I try to bring some great builds so we can politic and get our politic on, right? Yeah, I've been a little down on the weather a little bit, you know, mentally stressed, but you know, I'm cool. I'm in a decent place. You know, it's a situation, or I might not feel that a situation is going my way, or whatever the things are. I mentally shut down because I'm the type of person I have to process things as it comes to me. It's hard for me to make quick decisions, or you understand, when I do that, it usually ends up in a mess. So I shut down and I process things, right? I don't know what it's called, but that's what I do. And I try to do that. Yo, what is the eyes, man? What is that? But so that's what I do. You feel me? So I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I think it's easier for me to process thoughts, to get, you know, to kind of like line up what I'm going to do next or say next. Because I don't want to say things or do things that might offend, might hurt, things that I can't take back. Somebody might get, you know, might take what I'm saying the wrong way, or my actions the wrong way. So I'll shut down, might get a little quiet, might get a little zoned out, might be on my, you know, PMS or whatever you want to call it. But for the most part, when I get back, I'm 100. When I get back on my grind, or get back on my stool, or get back, I'm 100. Because I have had time to think about all of my events, all of the things I'm going through, process it, have a plan, move on. All right? I'm the type of person, if I can't do that, I'm out of control. I'm a wild onion. I'm just out here. You understand? But I have to do these things in that particular way because that's how I've learned to stay sane. If not, I'm out here bang, bang. You understand? I'm out here going crazy. And I don't want to do that. I can't go back. I have to keep moving forward. So I've learned through my years, this is my particular way of how I do what I do. Hey, bro.
Yo, hey, what up, bro?
Yeah, I'm chilling, man. Hey, check it, man. I'm on live, so I'm going to hit you back in 1 sec, all right?
Oh, yes, sir. Take your time. I'm going to talk. All right, peace.
All right, no doubt, fams. But so that's the way I do what I do, all right? I handle things like that. That's my reasoning, my way. So I don't encourage people to just make rash decisions and quick decisions because it kind of messes up things and it will throw off your day, your life, and all that good stuff. And then you wind up doing something you regret. All right, so getting back. And what is the odds, man? Give me what the odds is. Closed minded, okay, this is a great big world. Oh, okay. Okay. So you got coffee, you got eyes wide open. So we as people, I try to keep an open mind. I try to the best of my ability, keep an open mind. I try to keep, you know, things into perspective, right? I try to stay grounded, try to stay more to the simpler things in life. You know, I try not to complicate things too much. When we as people go through when we as people go through things, right? when we go through events in life, when we happen to experience things in life, nobody can tell your story like you can. Nobody can paint the picture like you can. No, if you have not been part of the process of what I've been through, there's not too much you can say. Now, granted, you might have been through similar things. It might can relate to some degree because you've been through a particular or similar thing, but does not mean you are in the same space, mind-wise, head-wise, heart-wise, or whatever dealing with, or what society's dealing with. Unless you actually been part of somebody's process, you'll never understand. And what I find is that in today's society, people are so judgmental, and they're so quickly, I don't know about that. I'm not saying male or female. But what I will say, people are so quickly to judge because they feel like they've been in somebody else's shoes. But I think it's time for people to step back and let people tell their own story and then just embrace what another person's been through rather than trying to control their narrative through what you've been through. Stop trying to control people by what you feel you've been through. Whatever you've been through, that's your story. That's you. You've been through it. Don't try to control my life or control me through what you've been through. You keep what you've been through and you continue to cultivate or build your life or build you. Don't control me through what you feel like you've been through that is similar to what I've been through. It can't work like that. You understand? It doesn't work like that. When you have experienced something in life, it either is going to enhance your life or it's going to decrease or it's going to subtract from your life. Whatever that thing is, whether it was good or bad, if it comes to help you, it will enhance. If it came to destroy or it hinder or hurts or whatever the case is, it's going to subtract. That's just the basics of life. What's up, my man? That was Kane. No doubt. What's up, family? What's good with you? That's the basis of life. That's common life. It goes around 360, right? That's the globe. It comes and goes. That's how life evolves. You experience something that will enhance and you experience something that will subtract. A lot of people, you know, when they experience things in life, they look back and what happens is they begin to start backtracking. Instead of moving forward in life, they'll backtrack because they've looked back. Don't look back in life. Keep moving forward, whatever it is. We got to train and talk to our kids like this so they can have a better understanding of don't let people stereotype you, put you in a box, control you with what they've been through, control you. If you're going to give wisdom, but do it soundly. If you're going to drop some jewels on a kid, do it soundly. Don't control them by your narrative of what you've been through. You can share what you've been through, and you can actually, to some degree, say, I understand or I sympathize with you, young man, young woman, but you can't control them and tell them anything, because if you're not in them shoes while they're going through it, then I think it kind of voids out what you're saying, that you'll lose them rather than gain them. You feel me? You've been through something in the 70s, and now you trying to tell somebody here in the 2000s, some young dude or whatever, how to handle a situation. Man, that was way back in the 70s, man. Crime and stuff wasn't even that deep like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you trying to stuff is diabolical now, man. People are crazy, chopping heads off, eating kids, and there's all kind of madness going on right now. Let me shoot, man. I watch Crime Watch daily, man. That's some wicked stuff people are doing these days, man. So you trying to give advice from a standpoint of the 70s and 80s, man, times have changed. You need to upgrade your wisdom and upgrade your advice. Kids ain't living like that no more, man. People ain't living like that. Things have changed. So whether you're a parent, whether you're a friend, whether you are a counselor, whether you're whatever you are, and you're trying to give some advice or speaking or helping or whatever, make sure you're not trying to control. Just do your best to stay out of the control zone. No, we don't need you to control nobody. You understand? The most you can do is give the advice that can help to some degree, but not control. I'm sorry. I had to go there. Because I find in this day and age, people are so quick to be judgmental. Plus, they want to control you. They want to put you in a box, close you up, tape it up, and then sit you on the mantle, sit you on the steps, or sit you on a chair. And that's how they want you to live your life. You understand? And it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work like that. Because after you have sat for a while, what have you gained? When you come out of that, you're going to be worse than what you went in. The knowledge or whoever's speaking to you, you'll be worse with the thoughts than what you understand? Have you ever talked to somebody and you just be lost and you just be looking at them like, okay. Have you ever just gave somebody that look like, You just roll your eyes a little bit like you just don't understand what they're saying. Like they lost you in the conversation. I've had that happen. I've just had that happen. You know, you just nodding your head kind of in disagreement but agreeing like, yeah. And you looking and you just lost. Okay. But to be comical, but the reality is they think they're controlling your thoughts, but actually they done lost you. They way out there and they up there in the stars. They somewhere up there. They done lost you. You tuned out and they done said a whole hour worth of nothing. And now you right where you was before you had the conversation. There's people who do that. There's people who feel like they're doing something great, feel like they're giving you the best knowledge they can give you. But then at the end of the day, after you come out the conversation, you're no better than what you went. You're no better than you was before you went into the conversation. Boy, that's a lot I just said there, boy. Whew. Tongue-tied. But all of the things that we're experiencing today, whether it was a Drake and Pusha T beef, whether it's Donald Trump tweeting something crazy, whether it was Beyonce coming out with another hidden message video, or whatever is being pushed or painted or dropped before us. One thing we have to realize, it's our choice whether we bite it or we leave it alone. It's our choice. These people are not actually forcing us to do anything. They're not forcing us to, watch their videos, buy their music, support their music. They're not forcing us. These are our choices. But with choices are consequences. With consequences, so it's always going to be something that follows. Always. I don't know what it may be. But whether you see it now or see it later, it's going to be something. Don't think that it's just going to be willy-nilly. I mean, if you're pumping negative into your children, don't you think when they get a little older, they're going to turn out to be negative? I mean, I'm just saying, come on. That's common sense. I was in the market, and this woman, young girl, whatever, was cussing her kid out, man. When I say was giving them the language, man, it every time she spoke, I cringed because it made me feel some kind of way that a child could be spoken to like that with no regard for nothing, man. Just like there was some grown adult, and she didn't feel embarrassed about it. She didn't feel no kind of way, man. She just was going at it. But then when you look at, and then come on, how much can a little, I don't know the kid's age, but the kid couldn't have been no more than 2 to 3 or 4. It was in that age. So how much could that kid have comprehended of what that mother was saying? How much? Not a lot. But I bet you this, by the time that kid gets a little bit older, they're going to be brainwashed with cursing people out, cursing in school, and then people are going to say, well, man, what kind of background or upbringing did they have that a little kid, this little 8-9-year-old kid in school now, cussing like a sailor, acting a fool? It's because they picked that up when they was in that 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 adolescent age. It was being pushed, brainwashed by the people who were supposed to protect them, love them, teach them right. I said enough right there, man. Mouth getting dry. Everfresh, y'all. So, hidden treasures. I can just hidden treasures. I can imagine your facial expression. So, if we are pushing these things, Don't get mad when the outcome does not go in your favor. Don't get mad. If the outcome is not in your favor, you can't get mad. If your kid turns out to be a Jeffrey Dahmer serial killer, you understand? You got to live with that, and you got to track or trace back what did you do in their life to contribute to that. Now, I'm not saying Jeffrey Dahmer parents and all that made him a killer, but I don't know. Maybe it was genetics, or maybe it was something they did. I don't know. But I'm going to stay and state the fact that there's a lot of things we do as parents, as people part of the society, that we contribute to the younger generation. We contribute to their downfall. That's facts. It's facts, man. You might not believe me. You might not agree with that. But there's a lot of things we do as young adults, or whatever you want to call it, to contribute to our younger generation's downfall. And the quicker we address some of the situations that we involved in, the quicker that we shut it down, the quicker that we think about it and apply knowledge and apply action to it, the more we'll start to see. Because look at it like this. That's true. They curse their toys and beat the doll babies upside their head. Watch the behavior of kids and how they act. Watch the behavior, man. Watch how kids act nowadays, man. Kids, they display some violent, crazy behavior. And I don't just blame it all on video games. They have to pick it up somewhere. You understand? Video games are a big contribute to it, but it just doesn't fall on video games. It has a whole lot to do with how the parents on the inside deals with them. And that's facts. Might disagree with me, but it's facts. So I encourage any parent, if your journey with your kids and how you relate or deal with them might not be on the up and up, might not be the best relationship or whatever you call it, I think at some particular time you might want to step back and evaluate, how is it helping? Is it healthy for you to be that way? Is it healthy for them to learn from you like that, or to pick up that, or whatever the case is? Is it healthy? And if you can tell yourself honestly in your heart that it's not healthy, then work on changing that. Not telling you what to do, but I feel like in order for us to be healthy as a unit of people or as a society of people, I think we work on the small things to make the better things great, or to make things great. You know what I mean? Now, I find that oftentimes when you begin to tell people or begin to share things or talk like this, people, they hate to hear when they're wrong, or they hate to hear when they know they're wrong. They hate to hear that. They hate to hear you saying something that can potentially help them or make life a little easier or give them a little peace in life. They don't want to hear none of that. You understand what I'm saying? They want to hear, you going along with the narrative rather than pointing out the narrative. I'm nobody's judge and juror. I can't shake my finger in nobody's face and say you shouldn't do or you should not do. I just give friendly advice. I just say it would be wise or it could be helpful. I'm not here to control, or I'm not here to put nobody in a trick bag and say, your life is going to be upside down. You might have a great life and might be the worst parent in the world. I don't know. And I'm not going to say I don't care, but at this particular time, if we're ever going to be a great people, if we're ever, and like we have always been a great people, you understand? There have always been history in the bloods of our, ancestry. It's always been creativity in our ancestry, in our history, period. So if we're going to continue the legacy, let's help by uplifting. Let's help by spreading more knowledge. Let's help by doing some of these things to make it, you understand, a little easier for the next generation. But I said a whole lot. I've went in a lot of different directions. Hopefully some of this is helpful. I will be adding panels, man. I mean, come on, man. I I'll be breaking it, man. I don't know how to get in touch with some of you guys, man, who would love to be on a panel. I don't mind having panels and opening up, you understand? Because it feels lonely, man. I'm lonely, guys. I'm by myself talking, and it feels lonely. I'm used to having a couple of people with me talking and conversing, but it feels lonely. You understand? I want somebody to talk to. I want somebody I can bully. I want somebody I can talk to. I'm just messing with you. Nah, I want somebody I can, converse. So if y'all want to jump on my next live, man, shoot me an email or shoot me something, man, so we can build. You understand? So yeah. Yeah, I got you, bro. So I feel like now, and most of you parents and grandparents can sympathize with what I'm saying, right? You can sympathize. Now, if my son is very smart, right? Mason. This dude is, I'm telling you, 3 years old. This dude is smart, man. Boy, everybody thinks he's older. They say, man, how old is 3? What? He's talking like that? The boy's smart. So if he would have seen this picture of Drake, he would have said something real slick or smart or whatever the case is. But I would probably have to, and I don't really think, I think maybe he probably would comprehend if I broke it down to certain, broke it down where he could digest what it mean on his level. I think he would understand, but he would certainly be curious to see somebody with that on their face. He would be curious to know what that is. You understand? He would be curious to want to know why would he have done that to his face. And I think that would be one of those dad moments where I would have to step up and kind of explain to him why that is, why he would have done that, whether he was joking or whether he was doing a skit, whether he was trying to bring awareness or knowledge or whatever the case is. But it wouldn't be easy for him to digest why another human being would put that on his face, look crazy like that, red mouth, for no reason. You understand? And you're not a superhero villain. You're not the Joker on Batman. Like, come on. It would be hard for an adolescent, young kid, or whoever to comprehend why you would want to do that. But it would be our job, my job, to kind of explain to them what that reasoning would be for them doing that. So Drake gets a thumbs down. He gets a, y'all like that noise? I don't have all of them soundboards and all that like Logic and all them other guys. I just had to make my own noise. So for him to do that, he gets a thumbs down in my book. And I'm not going to say he don't make good music or have something he contributes to the world, but I feel like if he was able to get on that level to downplay or to even do that what he did right there, that cooning, if he was able to do that, then what else was he willing or able to sell out? Think about that. See, I'm going to go a little deeper than a lot of people. I ain't the deepest, but I will go a little deep just to kind of paint the picture so you can get where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? Mentally. I feel like, all right, no doubt, I will. So I feel like, shucks, man. I feel like he, to some degree, would bite the apple if it was presented to him again. So if he did it once, why wouldn't he do it again? To climb the ladder. You understand? That's how I think. If he was able to go that far with painting his face black and doing that and knowing the history of why this was done, then what else would he have bended or folded under to do what he needed to do to get ahead? What else? Sleep with men? Be part of satanic cult rituals or whatever? What else would you do to sell your soul if you start off with something like this? It's just my observation. I feel like, I feel like I feel like to some degree you would, if you do small things, the small things will eventually amount to big things, right? Hold on. So they want me to open a phone line. Okay, all right. That's a hard thing to do. Hey, Logic, anybody that want to call in, I'm reluctant to put my number in here, man. I don't want all these weird calls and all that nonsense. Because I ain't hooked that phone line up yet to this phone. So, really don't want a whole bunch of weird stuff going on. People calling me from Beijing, China, and all this other crazy stuff, playing phone pranks and all this. You know what I'm saying? So, I might opt out of the phone line just for this particular live stream, and then when I come back, have a little something ready where people can call in, because I definitely want you guys to give your input about this. But Logic, you can call in. You got the number. Kane, anybody who has the number, call in. You understand? I just can't give this number out so I can get me so horny on there. 1-800-999 porn and all this other stuff people calling. You know what I'm saying? I just do not feel like dealing with this stuff. So, yeah, 'cause people can be nuisance, man, when they're trying to aggravate you. You feel me? They could be nuisance. But, yeah, because the last time I did that, man, I had people from Texas, people from all over the place calling me, and I want to be your friend, and all this other crazy stuff, and all talking madness on the phone, man. I'm like, well, hello, what's this? We're going to tie my line up with this foolishness, man. I'm arguing on the phone with people, you know, so that's when I first came into YouTube, so I didn't really know. I was all giddy about getting people to call in, get my number out, and all that, and then I got Joe Blow and Harry Potter calling me and all this other stuff, so it's a learning lesson. I'm learning, man, not to give my number out. Get a Google number. Y'all can have that. So I got to set up another Google number where y'all can get that. And if you want to call in on Google, not on my line. You feel me? Yeah, but nah, man. As I see it today, and I'm going to wrap up, man. I'm not going to be long. As I see it today, a lot of people in the entertainment business they're having to do a lot in order to keep the status that they have. I don't know what to call it. I don't know whether to call that part of a secret society, part of being in the in crowd, or whatever that thing is that they have to do to keep themselves relevant, or even to keep, you know, the status quo of who they are. Whatever that's about, that's the ultimate price that they have to pay. And some people feel like they don't have nothing in life anyway, so they might as well pay the price. But at the end of the day, I beg to differ. We should look a little deeper about, you know, wanting to do certain things just because it's been made available to do. You know, if it's made available, sometimes the easy things in life turn out to be the worst things in life. I don't know if that's a jewel I'm giving you. But sometimes the easier things in life are the worst things in life. And sometimes the hard things in life turn out to be the great things in life. You know, you ever been in a relationship that was hard, but then once it got stable, it produced the best fruits in the world? It just produced happiness and joy and all that good stuff. Have you ever been in situations where it might have seemed like the worst thing on earth, but actually turned out to be the best thing in the world? That's how, you know, life is. Diamonds are made out of coal. Pressed coal. Am I saying that right? I hope I just gave you a jewel. Diamonds, I think, are made out of coal. Buried deep in the ground and suppressed or pressed or whatever the case is, I think. Or if they're not made out of coal, they're made out of whatever stone it's made out of. But in order for it to be a diamond or to to have its luster and all that, it has to go through a series of process to get there. It just doesn't come out of the ground a diamond. It has to go through the process. And, you know, that process is probably not the prettiest process, but once it's finished, then it produces what we see as the diamond after it's cleaned, shined, after it's, you know, refined and dusted off. It produces. It produces. You understand? It produces that luster, that glare, that, wow, that's a diamond. That's how we are as people. That's how we are as people. Once we go through the fire, eventually we will produce. We will produce in life. Anybody that's not producing right now in their life is because they don't want to. Sorry to say, but anybody that's not producing in their life at this particular time is because they don't want to. You should be able to produce something to make life a little grand, a little easier, a little better, whatever. Something. I don't know what that something is, but you should be able to be doing something to make life a little better for yourself. Everybody can do something to enhance, to grow, to figure out a better, something. Everybody can do something. The average person that might not be producing or might not be in a good place is because they're choosing to be there. Not because they can't be out of that particular mindset, space, circumstance, whatever. It's because they don't want to. Because there's always things available. Before I came to Baltimore, I didn't know I had a lot of the things available to me that was available. I just figured life goes the way it goes, and that's just life. Although we hate government and although we hate to have them in our business, there are things that they have that could help us until we get on our feet. I'm not talking about government assistance, food stamps, and all of that. You understand? When my food stamps come, I'm about to buy me a cake and some chips and some junk food and some food and whatever. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about there's programs that you don't have to pay for that can actually help you. Now, whether you'll be tied to the government for the rest of your life, I don't know. But there are things that they can do to help you or assist you in enhancing or bettering your life. That's facts. I'm a living witness to that. When I came here, had some felonies, running from the law, this, that, and the third. Maybe about a couple of months of trying to get myself together. Seen the dude on the bus stop coming from barber school, had the barber school outfit, had the bag, and I was like, what's that? Blah, 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 blah. He said, if you go down here, if you ever been arrested or locked up or have been to jail, they'll pay for your schooling. So what did I do? With my curious self, I goes down to Mount Royal, down in Baltimore, and got signed up for barber school and all that. Went to barber school, did that whole thing, all because somebody passed that knowledge to me. I didn't know of anything like that. So there's tons of things that people have available to you. And I didn't have to pay the money back or nothing. That was free. That was free, man. Free, y'all. Didn't have to pay nothing. There's things out there right now. If you ain't never owned a home, you can go right now and be a first-time buyer. They got something called first-time buyer option. You can go and buy a house if you ain't never owned one. You can probably have a 550 or 600 credit score and definitely, bam, you know. You know what I'm saying? You definitely can, you know, get a house. Yeah, it's my son's birthday today. Bought him a little cake, so I was up there eating cake and ice cream and all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? Getting fat. I'm down to 185, y'all. I was at 210. So I done toned up. Your boy ain't eating right. I ain't eating good at work. I be working all day. You know what I'm saying? Working all day, so I ain't got no muscles. Look, muscles done. They done left me now. Look. Muscles gone, y'all. I used to be 210. Now I'm 185, nothing. But, yeah. So, there's things available. We just got to get hold to it. We just got to kind of like, you know, gravitate to bettering ourselves. And I know that's just random. I just threw that in there as a freebie. I ain't nobody's motivational speaker. I'm just up here just giving thoughts, you know. I ain't trying to be nobody's motivational speaker. I ain't trying to be nobody's therapist, man. Whatever issues you got, I hope you can swim, man. That's all I can say. Swim or drown. Swim or drown. You feel me? That's all I can say. Swim or drown. I ain't nobody's therapist. You either swim or you drown. So, nah, man, I really enjoyed you guys, man. So the next one, I'm going to try to have a panel. I'm going to try to get my boy Logic active. Might get my man Kane on there. Who knows? I might get your sweet place. She going to come on with me. She probably have her avatar up. You might just hear a voice. She might just be on there like on some, you know, what's good, everybody? This is, you know, this is what? PA in the house, you know what I'm saying? This is, you know, Pittsburgh Steelers in the building. This is Taurus in the building. I don't know what she gonna give y'all. But who knows? I might get her on there. I don't know. We might get on there. We'll see. But, you know, I just wanted to say peace to everybody who continues to support Ace, what I do, support the live stream, support all that good stuff. Thank you very much for your subscription. Thank you for, you know, being a part. You could have been anywhere at any particular time doing anything, but you chose to be here in this live stream. And for that, I love you and I appreciate it. Peace to everybody that was in the chat. Peace to everybody that conversed with each other, that put something in there that was helping, uplifting, building my mind, building your mind, and all that good stuff, right? You know what I sound like? I sound like the dude at the auction. Yeah, we got 5 over here. We got 10 over here. We got 10. We got 10. We got 10. We got 10. We got 5. I'm messing with you. I'm just geeking. But nah, I hope this live stream was it was mind opening. I don't know what it could have been, but hopefully it was mind opening. Hopefully you got something out of it. I want to say peace to Yaz. I want to say peace to my son. Dez on his birthday. I want to say peace to everybody, man. If you have not subscribed to Hidden Treasures Entertainment, yeah, go ahead and subscribe to the sister. If you have not subscribed to Logic Food Clothing Shelter, my man, subscribe to his channel, subscribe to Court TV, or anything else that he might have. The brother's doing his thing, and I appreciate him. Yo, Kane, hit me up. Hit me up in a few. I'm about to get off this live. I want to say peace to everybody that contribute. All right? Love you guys, and I will talk to y'all later. This is your boy Ace. And hold on, let me see if I can go out on the song, right? All right, here we go.
Easy money. It's about to be a surgical summer. Chop the tops off the coupes.
I love cheese doodles.
The 488.
405.
The spider joint.
George Garcia, peace to you, my bro.
And you know we gotta cut the heads off these snakes, right?
Come on.
Watch the body drop. Drug dealing aside, ghost writing aside. Let's have a heart-to-heart about your pride. Even though you're multi, I see that your soul don't look alive. The M's count different when baby divides the pie. Wait, let's examine why your music for the past few years been angry and full of lies. I started at the home front, I'm on one. Dennis Graham, stay off the gram, bitch, I'm on one. You mentioned wedding ring like it's a bad thing. Your father walked away at 5, hell of a dad thing. Marriage is something that Sandy never had. Drake, how you a winner but she keep coming in last place. Monkey suit Dennis, you parade him. A Steve Harvey suit, nigga made him. Confused, always felt you weren't black enough. Afraid to grow it cause your fro wouldn't nap enough. Since you name dropped my fiance, let them know who you chose as your Beyonce. Sophie knows better, as your baby mother. Cleaned her up for IG, but the stench is on her. A baby's involved, it's deeper than rap. We talking character, let me keep with the facts. You are hiding a child, let that boy come home. Deadbeat motherfucker playing border patrol. Ooh. Adonis is your son, and he deserves more than an Adidas press run. That's real. Love that baby, respect that girl. Forget she's a porn star, let her be your world. Yeah. How dare you put yay in my verses? I'm selfish, I want all of the curses. I'm pre-booking the churches, me versus 3 hearses. If we all go to hell, it'll be worth it. Already aligned with the greats. And on that same note, the only ones I chase are 2 ghosts. Still giving you classics. That's the only thing that dates me. OVO 40, hunched over like he 80. Tick, tick, tick. How much time he got? That man is 666. I got the
all right, y'all.
nigga.
I'm out.
666. Search